Hello, friends. We are live. 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 Hello, first viewer. There you go. That's my man right there. Good afternoon. Good evening, where you are. How's it going with you? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat before we start. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm looking at gaming PCs. This is like one of my worst habits, which is to daydream about expensive computer that I don't even play video games that much, but I think the only thing that I want to do is to get these machines and then run like cyberpunk on them for like a day and then gawk at the graphics, and then that's it. I never use it again. Like, that's my problem. I think it just comes from a place of scarcity. When I was growing up, I didn't have a good PC. So now I have, I guess, disposable income. I'm like, I just want to satisfy that need when I was a kid to run video games at like 60 FPS or more. Like, I don't even play video games that much. I have like a laptop, like an Alienware laptop, and Legion Go. So if you don't know what a Legion Go is, this is what I have. And Legion Go S actually, and I love it. Like, I use it to play Satisfactory, Resident Evil 4. Like, the graphics is not great, but the point is it's portable, and I love it. I use it a lot. But for some reason, when I'm like distracting myself, I look at gaming PCs, which is such a waste of time. Here, let me read the chat real quick. Pop chat. Okay, now I can read it. 10:35 p.m. out here. Yeah, like, I think each of us at some point wanted to run our computers to play the game, and then turns out our computer couldn't run it. So we have this like almost like collective trauma of how do we make sure that we can run things exact the way we saw in trailers. So my problem is I need to get something small because I move around a lot, and I don't want to pay a lot of money for shipping, and I don't want to pay a lot of money for and I don't want to have to like carry a heavy thing around, because some PC cases are huge for good reasons, like for airflow and all that. Otherwise your system overheats. But then in the past I had this thing called it's like an Intel NUC computer, so it's like super tiny. It's essentially like a laptop without a screen. So I would have like a RTX 3070 Ti like mobile in here, and I was able to play 1080p games for like many years. And recently I had to throw it out because it's past its prime, essentially. So, but I'm looking for our PCs. If there are recommendations about what PC to get, I would totally take you up on that. This one looks cool. Only problem is it only goes up to RTX 5070. I think I'm looking for something like 5080. because I want to run like VR, and there's all these VR games I wasn't able to run, and I'm like, yeah, I need to run that. What's the difference between these two? I guess just this core right here. The card is the same. So maybe weekend sale. Maybe I'll be looking at perhaps this. Ooh, that's crazy for a. This is crazy for a office desktop. Yeah. So the thing is, I'm waiting for GTA 6, right? I know GTA 6 is gonna be crazy. So I need a beefy computer. I can't be playing GTA 6 on my Legion Go. That's the problem. So, but like all this problem can be solved by just getting a PlayStation Pro. Like that thing is not too expensive, and it plays every single kind of game you throw at it, right? Like, 'cause games are made for it. So that would solve everything if I just get a PlayStation. But then the problem is all my games are on Steam. So yeah, again, guys, this is just first world problems. This is like not particularly like I'm just creating problems for myself essentially. But this is not too big. Yeah, this PC is not too big. Let's see. New arrival. How large is the in terms of liters? I want to see how large that is. 41 liters. So how big is my suitcase? Away suitcase, carry on. This is my old suitcase. This is no longer. I no longer have this, but this is my mental model for everything that I need to pack. So let's see. Where's the suitcase? Get out of here. New arrival. Luggage. Carry on luggage. So the carry on here. Does it say the size? So the PC is gonna be larger than this. This is, I know how big this is, and then the PC is gonna be larger than this. I don't know if I want that. It's quite large. 41.9 liters. $34 liters. Gen 10 unit provides a demonstrated compute to what? So Lenovo would say that this is 34 liters, but then it comes out to be like 41.9. That's funny. That's huge. I don't know if I want to keep all that, because it's huge. But I mean, for once in my life, I have a PC that's what they usually say on marketing. It's like no compromise, you know what I mean? I'll have that, and then somebody break into my apartment and steal it, maybe. And I'll be like, okay, probably should have bought that then. But yeah, this thing looks crazy. Let's see on the YouTube video how big it is compared to a person. Let's watch this real quick. Oh, this guy's just talking out his ass. He doesn't have the computer. Okay, maybe this guy has the computer. Sorry about that. but this is the generation from 2 years ago, I think, or yeah, a year ago. This guy made this video a year ago, 2 years ago. 4090 in there, which is a big card. HP Omen, huh? Okay, so let's see here. 4090, that's huge, but it doesn't look that big on that desk. You know what I mean? So you're sitting here, computer does not look that huge. Should I get it, chat? It is a huge computer. The problem, so I was looking at Alienware as well, but the problem with Alienware is that they use non-standard components. So their motherboard would be like an L shape. So that later on, if you need to upgrade stuff, you can't even fit stuff in the case. But this, I'm assuming, uses like consumer grade kind of parts. So if I unplug the GPU and get another one, put that in, that should be pretty simple. Yeah. I'm curious how big this will be. Do they put this anywhere? If it's 30 something liters, then that's great. Okay, that's interesting. But back to the stream. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at our project. So today I have to make I want to make a YouTube video about what have we built in the last week, and also plan for what we're gonna build next week. So next week I'm thinking about doing this really interesting feature that I've always wanted to do. So for some context, I have this project called Homework Grader where I can drop in any GitHub URL and then it'll run like a process to grade somebody's like coding project. So right now, what it can do is it can look into my Notion database, and then from my Notion database, figure out like a list of 50 students who have submitted their coding project using a GitHub URL. Take the code from each URL out into one big string, pipe that into like an AI model of my choice. The model has a prompt to grade it using criteria that I set, and then it spits back into the same Notion DB the feedbacks. Other than that, what I really want to do now is allow my students to deploy their projects onto like a service like Vercel or something like that, and then for the tool to be able to both grade the code itself, give people feedbacks, but also like let the agent view the deploy application in a browser. How can we do that? We can use something like browser base. I've been meaning to try browser base for a long time. Funny story, so I first met Paul Klein, who's the founder and CEO of browser base, when I was in San Francisco. And when I went to New York City for Vercel, I was running into him there again. And it turns out that he used to host this thing called AI Tinkers in San Francisco. So I'm an organizer for AI Tinkers in my city. So we kind of got to know each other through that. And shout out to my friend Yuli from Copilot Kid for making the connection. And then when I was in New York, I ran into Matt from Mux. Mux is a really interesting company. If you ever need like video hosting and video player on Next.js, stuff like that, Mux is great. And I saw Paul on the stage at Vercel, and then I ran into Matt, and apparently Paul sold his first company to Mux, which so Paul built like a streaming service of some kind, and then Mux bought it. So I got the chance to hang out with Matt there, and ran into Paul again. So yeah, I have to try browser base, and there are several services like this out there. Essentially, what they all do is they allow you to kind of like quickly spin up like a headless browser and then deploy your agent on there, so it can do like automation. And these guys, they have this thing called Stagehand as well, which is a framework for browser automation. This is completely free. You don't have to use Stagehand with browser base, but you can definitely use both. There's also Browser Use, which is a recent YC company. I used to get confused by like these names. I'm like, what the hell is what the hell is it the same thing? That's not. They essentially do the same, very similar things though. But if you're looking at like browser automation, web scraping that are difficult to do, this is great. See, automated data scraping. You literally spin up a browser, which in turns make your agent a user agent, and then you bypass a bunch of stuff. VC mode, that's funny. Founder mode. 17 mil seat round. My God. Pricing. API access, pay as you go. I think browser base has a free tier. Let's see. Yeah, free tier. 1 concurrent browser, 1 browser hour included. 1 browser hour included. This is like reset. 100 browser hours included. Then okay. I guess every month. Yeah. I mean, for our agent to be able to create homeworks, I don't think it'll run through that quick. I think every session will probably be like at most 5 minutes, and we can create like at least 10 projects before I run out, and then we have to pay for $20 per month plan, and then that would be 100 browser hour included. Okay. And then that's not too bad. I was just hoping that we won't have to pay this much to be able to pay this much, but no concurrent limits. I don't see any concurrent limits here. Proxy concurrency. Oh, 25 only. Okay, that's fine. Stealth auto capture solving. I heard some interesting stories about how they hire people, apparently like people who are good at scalping, like sneakerheads, or people who are good at like scalping e-commerce. Like if like Switch 2 comes out and somebody can build automation to like scalp that, you'd be a good target for hire at browser base, apparently. Session duration limit 15 minutes, 6 hours. You can spin up a browser for 6 hours. What does the browser base do? Okay. Automation framework, Stagehand. Super cool. I need to try Stagehand actually. I really want to try Stagehand. What I really want to do is spin up Cloud Code and then try Stagehand with it. But yeah, so I think we're gonna commit to this. That's gonna be what we're gonna build next week. So let's go on GitHub, and then maybe we can bang out some tasks here. And welcome people. I see a lot of people watching today. When I say a lot, I mean like 5 people, but more than yesterday. So I'm guessing you guys are anxious about Monday. That's why you're on YouTube watching this. Yeah, so the project's called Homework Grader. If you're interested, feel free to contribute to this. We still have a lot of issues we gotta take care of, but you can download files to Sandbox. I think I added this to the wrong code base. Yeah, what's up, Anthony? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. How's it been? Oh yeah? Yeah. Are you just gonna put me on in the background while you're doing your own work? That's fine by me. Okay, so I gotta fix this real quick. I would love to contribute. Yeah, so 2 projects, right? The first project is CLI on the cloud. This one we put cloud code and a bunch of other stuff on the cloud, and we can chat with it now, do a bunch of stuff. Just if you think of a good use case or a feature you want to build, like create an issue, put a pull request, tell me how you use it so we can improve it. The other project is homework grader. So this one, if you're a teacher, if you if you need to like grade a large amount of like code projects at once, this is extremely useful because you can bake in your rules for grading and then let an agent grade it for you. But the missing piece is that now it can now we're going to do is we're going to add a task for this project to be able to spin up a headless browser to be able to view our students deploy projects. Now, I think that's going to be a game changer. Why am I talking like I'm on like an influencer, a game changer? Like, anyways, so these are the 2 projects that I started recently. They're all both open source. But yeah. So for this project here, what I'll do is I'll make a change right here, and then I'll say, oh, I already added this. Then why the heck do I have this here? Homework grader agent. Oh, it's a different page. I think I messed up. Yeah. Never mind. So in here we have this. We still have some tasks we gotta take care of. So for example, right now it's grading 1 project at once. We want to do multiple, right? So we got this we gotta take care of, and then I think this task will be done. And then we have this right here, allow user to choose which categories to grade and have some configurations. I think configuration is going to be what I need to tackle next, and then allow the program to grade progress against a project over time. This is hard because when I'm teaching like this bootcamp thing, a lot of times people are submitting the same project over and over every week because they're making progress. So in my head, naively thinking progress to an AI grader could mean looking at the current state of the code, plus looking at git commits and diffs. Maybe not diffs, but git commits, maybe diffs. So like you can have a designated period of time between like just the last 7 days and see like, okay, how many commits fell into that range. Let's see the diff, and then let's grade that. See how much progress they've made. And then we can bake in some rules of like, oh, we don't want to like count the number of lines of code change. Obviously that's stupid. In my last job we fucking did that, and I fucking hate that. Like number of lines of code is not, or number of commits is not always the signal for like productivity. Like you can spend a whole month trying to figure out how something works, and it's a very important piece of the puzzle, and then it takes you like a day to write it. Like, that doesn't mean that you didn't spend the entire month working on it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, so I think in the prompt for the grader, what we can do is we can bake in some rules about like how that, how to look at the change and see the impact of the change as opposed to the number of lines changed or the number of commits. So I like that. So I'm going to edit this real quick. Edit the program. So the problem is the program can grade the entire project, but not progress towards the project. It should be able to grade progress made from week 4 to week 5 rather than just grade the project's completeness. So what we can do is um, a mode, a progress update grader mode, where the AI grader looks a grader looks at commits the entire state of the code base as of today, and also take into account a user defined period of time in order to pull in commit messages and their diffs. And I'm curious if every single project we have a sandbox so we can potentially read the diffs, not through GitHub API, but instead like through like the local repo. So let me just read this up real quick. How to pipe git diffs from a specific commit or multiple commits in a date range into terminal, because we'll be running terminal commands to inside of that sandbox, right? Practical copy pasta. Okay, single commit git show and then commit hash, I'm assuming, or what is this? Commit would this be like the hash, or what are we trying to do here? Option equivalent with diff syntax. Okay, git show. Yeah, it's the hash of the commit. 123 dash dash color less r. Okay, path between two commits. Compare any two refs hashes. Okay, quick recipes. So this is something that we can always use AI to write. I'm not the best person to remember all this stuff about Git. What does the output look like from those commands? Just want to see what the output looks like, because at the end of the day it's going to be string, and then we're going to have to pipe that into our LLM. Just got to make sure that the string makes sense or has enough context. Okay, great. So if it looks like this, I guarantee you AI models are trained on text that looks like this, so we'll be okay. For a human though, even for me, it's hard for me to read this shit sometimes. But like, for LLMs, they can read this. It's perfectly fine. So, in order for this to work, I guess when I'm teaching people, I have to like make it a point for people to write proper commit messages. And AI does a pretty good job with that, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. But what I'll do is I'll copy this link, and then I'll paste it in here. The AI grader prompt should also be tailored to great progress and impact of change rather than completeness. Guys, I feel like every time I build stuff like this, I need to change from like MIT license to like AGPL or something, because I'm like, somebody's gonna take this and make a business out of it, which is fine, but just make sure you open source it. Perplexity. So I'm gonna preview. Perplexity discussions. Yeah, this is gonna be great. I'm excited to do this part actually. Before I do that, rabbit holes, I'd say I don't think Git is gonna be an issue. I think configurations for grading becomes too complicated. Keep it simple to one use case. changes between the period of x to y. That's it. And then not over complicate the AI prompt. Yeah. No goes. We're not adding any new infrastructure essentially. Not adding any new infra. Just a new feature. With the new prompt. Yep. We're not gonna add like anything crazy to it. I think another thing is at least for in my use case, I'll probably be using this a lot more than the complete project grading, because it's always people's like progress changes that I'm looking at, and not necessarily like they don't build a project in 1 week like I do. Like they build incrementally over the course of 6 months, 6 weeks or 5 weeks or 6 weeks. So I'm curious if I should take into account the feedbacks from the week before. That'll be interesting, because like when I grade stuff, I do look at where the code base is today, and then maybe it'd be nice to like look at how the person had implemented feedbacks from the week before. I think that'd be quite interesting. But we're not gonna go there. We're gonna create another shape for that. For future, take into account feedbacks from the week before, from the last grading session, grading result, from last grading process. So this could be a month ago, it could be like a couple of days ago, just so that we can see whether or not they actually implement the things that we told them to do. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, with that being said, let me just go ahead and change my license, because I do feel like if you are gonna use this, make a commercial product out of it, just open source it. Don't keep it hidden from people. So what I'll do is I'll check the Git stuff real quick. License. Okay, this is MIT. What I'll do is I'll go over here. I'll get this. I'll paste it over here. And then that's it. That's GNU. Yeah, so I'm just gonna update the license and done. So if you didn't steal it before this, nah, you can't just take it and do whatever. Code updates will be under GNU, so you'll miss out on the stuff if you took it before. And we changed the license. But yeah, so with that being said, let's pick one to work on this week, or multiple, honestly. I think this is important to parallelize. I also think that let's see. So allow you to choose categories to grade. It has some configurations. I don't know what this means. I'm just gonna delete it. Sometimes like I would create these like issues and I don't remember what they are, what they do. The user can easily view feedbacks. I think, yeah, from this last task we'll be done with it, so we're good. I should be looking at this. I should be looking at this. Yeah, so we're gonna do next is we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna tackle the oh, this is already done. Like I've done this. Let's close the issue. You can go on npm, you can npm install this now. Essentially. So let's see. Yeah, I think this is what I'm most excited about, because I'm doing this bootcamp on Maven starting mid-September, and I'm gonna need this to help with grading. So it'd be sick if I can run this on my computer or on the cloud, because it's a CLI tool, right? So maybe I can use my CLI on the cloud tool to run this. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe make this into an SDK, coding teacher SDK, something like that. Yeah, I like that. What do you guys think? So I have some names for this that I'm thinking about. So teaching code SDK, or AI grader SDK. And then this could be a CLI, or this could be like something important to your project, and then you can have all these abstraction that you can use to automate grading people's projects or testing people's projects for developer educators. That'd be sick. I'm actually kind of sleepy today because I slept like 6 hours last night. Still trying to fix my sleep, but what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna hit the gym, make food. I have my chicken wings in my air fryer. They're just sitting there. And then when I come back, I actually have a webinar that I'll be doing with Mary for like my Maven stuff. It's gonna be about clock code. So let me pull that up actually. I have it on my calendar. Let me just pull that up. So let's see, Maven. Okay. Let's see if I can find the webinar here. Okay, September. Who's Mary? Mary's my business partner. So she's a data scientist. So we partner up together to do this like bootcamp thing for like a couple months now. And it's been quite fun. We've been able to teach about 150 people so far through multiple boot camps. And I want to see what my lightning session is. Do you know what the lightning session is? Is essentially like a free session about something, some topic. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna be talking about clock code. But if I can find what the link is, give me 1 second, guys. The link would be sick. Here, let me pull that up. Give me 1 second. Okay, link to the webinar. Maven. Okay, so I gotta go to her LinkedIn. Gotta go to her LinkedIn to get it. Which means I have to unblock myself from my host file, because I blocked myself from LinkedIn. I have spent way too much time on LinkedIn, guys. So I had to do it. But now he's gotta retrieve the link, which is the best excuse for me to go and waste my time on it. So I gotta. Is this the one? I don't think this is the one. Here, let me go find on her LinkedIn. Question in the chat: Could you please guide me how LM can help as a SDET? Are you saying you're a software engineer in test? I use LM to write tests. I think I'm also doing consulting with a company that does AI-based agentic testing for code bases, and I think that's a great use case. I think your job's gonna get automated at some point in the next few years. So watch out for that. Okay, let's go to Mary's profile, and then we can see where the thing is. Where's the lightning session? My God. Okay. Lightning session. So funny. Let's see. When did she post this? I actually don't see it. So maybe anyways, essentially we're gonna be talking about cloud code and all that stuff. I can't even for the life of me send the final link for you. So I don't know what else to say. I'm horrible at this selling stuff. But what I can do is I can tell you what I'm gonna talk about on a high level. So essentially just tell you tell everybody on the call how I use Cloud Code, how I write most of my code with Cloud Code now, and how I moved from Cursor over to Cloud Code, and how to write proper CloudMD files, aka rules files, and some of the stuff that you probably won't hear about online. For example, I found out the other day that when you use Cursor Agent, it also reads cloud.md, which is nice. Or that you should never write a bunch of agent roles to role play, and instead break down what exactly you need Cloud to do and then bake that into the Cloud file. Because a lot of influencers try to sell you templates, and those repos usually get thousands of stars, so it goes to show that stars don't actually mean anything in real life. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. I'll do live coding. Actually, what I'll do is I'll do what I do for you guys here, which is at the end of the webinar, I'll actually pull out one of these projects, and I'm gonna take a shape or an issue that we just saw, like this, and then I'll just click on one and be like, okay, let me just work with the Cloud to work through it as far as I can. Probably won't finish it live, but just to show people how things work. What's the success story you like from one of the graduates from the bootcamp you're running? A bunch of people got jobs. A bunch of people built something cool for the first time. So I know my friend, one of our TAs, Dwayne, was part of the first bootcamp, and he's now organizes AI Tinkers community in I think Dallas, Texas, or Houston, can't remember, but he's from Texas, and he's been building stuff a lot. So I think a lot of people, they found a job. A lot of people, it's for most people, pretty much everybody there, it's I didn't realize I could build something like this. That's the unlock that we give people, which is you are more capable than you think you are. So yeah, if you think it's a good fit, this is the link to it, which again, for the life of me, I don't have these things on deck, but yeah, if you're interested, that's that. Yeah, so when the bootcamp starts, I probably won't be streaming as much because I'll be so drained, but try my best. Maybe I'll change the time for this public stream. But with that being said, expect a YouTube video coming out Monday, which means I have to put something in my calendar to film it tonight. Yeah, I should probably put something in my calendar right now. Okay, so I'll put film YouTube video at 6:45 p.m. And then gotta go home. Okay. I started doing this thing. This was yesterday, which is a designated mental health walking time, because I've been in my room a lot. I haven't been outside for a while. So I gotta get off my butt and force myself to go outside, even though I don't feel like doing it. Yeah. Anyways, what we're gonna be doing, which is we're gonna be doing this tomorrow. Start to parallelize the repo parsing. If you're interested in like what I mean by that, here's what I mean by that. Let me just share my screen real quick. Okay. So here's what I mean by that. Where is it? Okay, I'm gonna zoom in for you guys. Development and then homework grader. And then I can do PM, I think dev. Oh. PM start. Uh-oh. PMI. Oh my god. Thriving. Okay, hope you guys can see this now. So yeah, so this is a tool that allows me to grade everybody's homework. And I can choose between different models here. So you should go with this, and then I can click on Notion database, and this will connect to a proxy server on render, which is now cold starting. That's why it's taking forever. So the reason why I need a proxy server is because I can connect directly to Notion without a secret key. And if I want to hide my secret key, I need some sort of server. That's why, and a CLI tool, unfortunately, is a tool on your computer. So I need to build like a proxy server essentially. So now the server is waking up, hopefully. There we go. And now it's start fetching, yeah. So now I am connected to this. What I can do is this is all the available Notion pages that I gave it access to. So what I can do is I can go page by page. I can go back. How do I go back? Oh no. This should be fast. Yeah, there we go. Thank God. I can do like homework. So I'll have like my homework database here, right? And I can go in here and I can load the content out. Oh shit. Okay, so what the hell happened? And then I can see people's like homework essentially, and I can click on G to grade. Yeah, it's actually pretty sick. Although I gotta clean it up a little bit. There's a lot of information I don't need here. So, and then if you want to know what happens, it just look at everyone's like entries from like, so like people fill out like a Notion form, and then they have a row in my database in Notion, right? And then let's just go through each row and then take the person's GitHub URL, dump it into a sandbox, run some like tree commands to like get it out, or like get all the content in the file out, pipe into an LLM, and then ask LLM to grade it, give people feedback. So things like, oh, don't use requirements.txt, da da da. Like I love to like do that stuff using this. So that's what this project is about, and I love it. When I first built it, I'm like, whatever, right? But now I feel like if sometimes I get tunnel vision, and when I'm building stuff, I sometimes forget why I build it. I have to take like a week vacation or a week away from it, and then I'll remember why I built it. And I'm like, holy shit, why wasn't I not working on this? But yeah. Anyways, I guess I'll catch you guys later tomorrow, same time, 1 p.m. EST. Yeah. It's been fun. I gotta go to the gym and then make my chicken wings. They are rotting in the air fryer. So, if you want to hang out, again, here's my Discord. Let me drop this Discord in here. Discord, here, and then I jump on there from time to time. And then, here you go. Discord. Alright, gang. I will see y'all